Former Loudoun County Public School Superintendent Scott Ziegler has been indicted on 3 misdemeanor charges by a special grand jury. This comes a week after the release of a blistering report detailing the school district's failures in responding to sexual assaults in their schools. Now, in addition to charging Ziegler, the special grand jury also indicted Loudoun County's public schools public information officer with a charge of a felony perjury. Joining me now to discuss this is Meg Kilgannon, Senior Fellow for Education Studies at the Family Research Council. Meg, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Thanks for having me back, Tony.
Meg, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so tell me, why was this special grand jury necessary?
The prosecutor in Loudoun County is not a prosecutor who tends to be aggressive in prosecuting crime. And so because parents have been complaining and because no action had been taken, one of the major campaign issues of the governor's race was this issue of what exactly was going on in Loudoun County and how in the world were we going to get to the bottom of it when everyone in the government there seemed to be in collusion over the issues. So the governor ran and promised, or Glenn Youngkin ran promising to investigate what was going on. And when he won and the Attorney General, Jason Yares, also won his race, they immediately launched an investigation. And now you have indictments coming from the special grand jury. And the Attorney General has announced that he will prosecute these indictments. So he's not making any more statements about it because they're going to be going to court.
So last Monday we had last week we had the report come out from the grand jury. It was unsealed by a judge, 25 pages, 92 in total, with all of the footnotes and the evidence that came along with it, the statements. So this week we have charges. Tell us about the charges that have been, the indictments that have been released.
Well, the public information officer has been charged with felony perjury. And so that charge, if he were convicted, could carry up to a 10-year prison term.
And what's that based on, that charge?
It's based on statements that he made to the grand jury that are false. So we don't have specific information about what exactly it is that he's said that they're alleging he lied about. But, and of course, you know, we're all innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, right? But these are the charges that he's facing.
Now we know what Scott Ziegler did. I mean, he lied about the fact that there had been an assault in the bathroom in the school by a boy wearing a skirt of a girl. He knew that, and he publicly said he had no knowledge.
That's right, and that seems to be the charge that he's facing. And you'll recall, Tony, that incident and the altercation that occurred in the crowd that night, the shutting down of the school board meeting, all of that is what led to the request by the National School Board Association for the Department of Justice to intervene in the atmosphere of violence that was taking place in public schools across the country. You know, that was one of the key examples they cited of parents just being out of control and the need for the feds to come down hard on parents at school board meetings. And we see now that this was all based on lies.
Right. Well, it's the opposite. It is those that are controlling the institutions that are negligent when it comes to the protection and well-being of our children. So God bless the parents who are willing to stand up there and take the ridicule and the heat from these leftists who are running our schools.
If you want a hard job done, you have to ask parents to do it, right? Because that's what we have to do. But what you said about the atmosphere and the environment created by the public officials is really confirmed by the second 2 misdemeanor charges that were leveled against former Superintendent Ziegler, because they are related to a case that a teacher in Loudoun County filed where she claimed she was being sexually assaulted by a special needs student. This teacher was an elementary school teacher at the time. And she repeatedly complained about the behavior of the student and the fact that it was not being addressed appropriately or in a way that kept her feeling safe and other students feeling safe. And she ended up, her contract was not renewed, and she's now in a lawsuit with the school system. And she claims that that Ziegler retaliated against her. That those are the other two misdemeanor charges are related to that case. So we see a pattern here, right? That the schools are not safe.
Obviously, this is going to go on as the prosecution will take place next, but can we expect to see more from this investigation and more fallout as it pertains to the schools there in Loudoun County?
I think we must expect to see more.
It's certainly going to fuel the school board races that'll be coming up soon.
They are in the year 2023.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Meg Kilgannon, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tony.